Welcome to Englewood After Dark, Episode 17, The Weight of Living. Englewood After Dark is a serialized horror audio drama, and for the best experience, we recommend starting at Episode 1. Content warnings for this episode include mentions of murder, violence, and stalking. Stay tuned after the episode for a special teaser trailer for Season 2. Hey there, intrepid mystery lovers! Welcome back to another chapter of Englewood After Dark. I'm your host, a tired but enthusiastic youth with a heart of gold and a hankering for answers, and this here is my co-host.
A shell of a woman, a broken husk of hate and violence.
As you can see, Eve isn't doing so good tonight.
Tonight is supposed to be Kung Fu night. Tonight is supposed to be my outlet. This is not an outlet, Finn.
For the listeners at home, we hit a bit of a snag. There was a bit of an admin mix-up, and so our recording room got double booked. We had to reschedule, tonight was the only free slot, and tonight is Kung Fu night, unfortunately.
And after the week I've had, you'll excuse me if I have a lot of unresolved aggression to work through.
Ouch, that bad, huh?
It's not you, it's everything. Everything happening all at once. Jesus, there is just so much.
You want a donut? Alright, today is apparently a 2 donuts night. Alright, listeners, here's the situation. Eve's room is haunted. Like, super duper haunted. So haunted that she and Carmen have noped out. Now they're staying with Seb and I, and you can see how that's going for her.
I miss having my own room, Finn. I miss having somewhere I can go back to at the end of the day and it be my space. And I love Carmen to bits, but I don't want to be squashed into your bed with her every night.
At least it's not Seb's bed.
And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for volunteering to sleep in Seb's bed so Carmen and I don't have to.
Yeah, Carmen wouldn't survive Seb's bed.
Finn, Seb's bed wouldn't survive Carmen. She'd gut that mattress like a fish. She has a cross sharpened into a shiv that she keeps under her pillow. Our pillow.
Wait, a cross? Why a cross?
God, Finn, I have no idea. To stab ghosts?
Huh. Blessed weapons. That would explain the water pistol.
Of course she has a water pistol. She was already bulk buying holy water online. I guess a gun is the next logical step.
I'm actually not sure if you can buy holy water. Thought blessed stuff couldn't be sold?
Yeah, that's what Carmen said. So she sent someone a donation and they gifted her some water as thanks.
Who knew she was versed in biblical law and loopholes?
Surely you realize how utterly insane this is.
Biblical law?
No, I mean ghosts. Supernatural, paranormal phenomena. Real.
I don't know what to tell you, Eve. I've known all along.
But, Jesus, Finn, I mean, think of what this means. We could answer half of philosophy as an entire field of study right now. But instead, we're working out how to shoot ghosts.
And I am ecstatic about that fact. Hey, come on, don't be like that. We've got a lead now. A real, solid lead. Well, as solid as a ghost can be, I guess, because spirits are... Yeah, you get it. Nonetheless, we have a direction now, and I'm ready to chase it. Are you with me?
Do I have a choice?
Great! So remember how Seb did research last episode?
Yeah, I remember you fawning over a recording like a kid on Christmas.
Hey, I'm expressive. Don't shame me for my enthusiasm. Anyways, between what you and Seb learned in my spirit box experiences, I connected the dots. And I know the Englewood stalker is responsible for the locked room murders.
Okay, sure.
Look at it this way. The locked room murders were carefully timed. Vanessa was killed while her roommate was away. Heck, Lori was killed in the time it took Lily to take a shower. As the Englewood stalker, Lionel Wench got away with it because he was resourceful. He watched, waited, and learned, planning his insidious attacks, which is exactly what an intangible, incorporeal entity is good at. You can watch at any time, from any angle.
Fantastic. So we have a stalker ghost, just fucking peachy.
And as messed up as it may be, it kinda matches the theory you and Seb had. You know, the weird dating thing.
I hate this. I hate this so much.
Lori was gay and she was stabbed the most, like the killer really, really hated her for something. Brandon, on the other hand, a gay man who was barely stabbed at all, while the woman in the room... How do I say a normal amount of stabbing without being weird? I don't want to normalize any amount of stab wounds, honestly.
Nothing is normal about this. Absolutely none of it. We've completely lost any semblance of normal by now.
I guess? Either way, it kind of fits. The watching, the learning, the stalking, the weird woman hate especially directed at gay women. I even did research this week to learn about Lionel. Well, Seb did research. I mentored him. Check this out.
Student killed in grisly fall outside Sycamore dorms.
Seb and I looked into Lionel Wench's death, and it's weird. Someone found him on the drive next to the Sycamore dorms, bloodied and broken. Coroner's report estimated time of death at, get this, 3 a.m. The police initially ruled it as a suicide.
Initially?
There were a couple of blood spatters on the ground like he'd crawled away from the impact site, and then he just asphyxiated.
What?
His throat closed off and he slowly suffocated to death after surviving a 6-story fall. Something really wanted this guy dead.
Aliens?
What?
Sure, we've already fully gone off the deep end, and apparently I'm on Team Conspiracy now. Why not throw in a tinfoil hat theory? Maybe aliens got him.
Okay, now you're just being facetious.
Am I? I have no idea anymore. We have incel ghost killers, which is such a fucking bizarre thing to say. What's so unreasonable about it being aliens? Or maybe it was Batman. At this stage, how do we rule anything out?
Eve, Batman doesn't kill people and aliens are a conspiracy.
I'm going to strangle you.
What? It wasn't me!
Not you, Finn. It's just... Is this a cosmic joke? Is the world conspiring against my sanity? Is everything just ghosts now?
I mean... It sounds like it. Sorry.
It's just a lot to deal with after this week's emotional roller coaster.
Unfortunately, I'm about to segue into ghosts again. Lionel's death was super weird, which brings us to this.
God, that thing gives me the chills. Fucking spirit boxes.
Which, places Lionel Wench's ghost in your dorm in particular. Which means...
We need more water pistols and holy water, apparently.
Precisely. Maybe Carmen's got the right idea with the crucifix.
Let's not do anything that encourages you to get into close combat with anything. Let alone a ghost.
Oh, come on.
He has a knife, Finn. A ghost knife.
Damn it, he does have a ghost knife. Okay, now sounds like a good time to do an ad break. Stay tuned, listeners. We're gonna give Eve some time to digest everything, then kick things off again. So don't go anywhere. Hey there, lovely listeners. If you've been with us for a while, you likely have some strong opinions about fortune-telling and prophecy. This Friday at 3:30, the Englewood Philosophy Department will be holding an open lecture in Auditorium B2 exploring the role of divination in modern cultures. You'll learn a little about common divination techniques, but also about how divination can benefit everyone from believers to skeptics in a secular context. Are you in a tizzy for tarot? Or do you doubt the divination? Perhaps you're geomancy curious. Whoever you are, there's something for everyone, so come on down.
Finn? You're really going to keep dancing around the elephant in the room?
Oh, sorry. Here I thought you'd want to avoid it, but if you're ready to get into it...
What are you talking about?
Wait, what are you talking about?
You're joking, right? I know things have been a bit of a clusterfuck, but you hid something pretty big from me. You said you'd bring it up on this week's show, and I mean, if you change your mind, I'm not gonna force you to talk about it with the mics on, but come on.
No, you're right.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, Seb already brought it up on the show. Not fair to the audience if we just leave him hanging.
You don't owe anyone anything.
No. At this point, it would be withholding evidence from our investigation, so let's just get through it.
Alright. Whenever you're ready.
So, when I was in middle school, my sister, Tara Oxter, was a student here. Her dad died when she was a baby, so she kept his name, even when my parents adopted her later. She was a criminology major, average student, loved being away from home, and was living in Sycamore Hall at around the time of the locked room murders.
That must have been frightening for you and your family, I imagine.
Well, for Mom and Dad, yeah.
Why not for you?
Because I was an oblivious idiot. Mom and Dad never told me because they didn't want me to worry. Tara didn't bring it up even though we texted each other all the time, probably for the same reason. And I was just so stuck in my own little world. Never watched the news, never read the paper, so when it finally happened,
Do you want to stop?
Yeah, but no. After she died, I found out from my mom that my parents were begging her to come home. When Tara insisted that she would stay, my parents bought her a motel room to stay at, but she apparently didn't go there. She was worried about the other students at her dorm. Wanted to make sure they felt safe. She was always the kind of person who looked after everyone but herself, and her roommate had dropped out for semester, so she was living by herself.
And it's around that time that she...
Okay, she didn't do anything. Sorry.
It's fine.
Well, a few days had gone by without anyone having seen her. People knocked on her door, and she never answered. Wasn't answering her phone, either. Given everything that was going on, someone got worried and had campus security bust open the door, and, she was found there with her wrists slit.
Christ.
Yeah.
Finn, you know I know you don't owe anyone anything, me included, but when I pitched the lock room murders, is there a reason you didn't bring this up?
It's not exactly something I want to talk about, okay?
I get that, but I'm only now finding out we've been dancing around this for the last 6 episodes, and, well, it must have been torture for you working on this. We didn't need to cover this. I'd have been just as happy covering anything else.
I knew when we started we'd touch on it sooner or later. I knew before you even pitched it. I wanted to look into it.
Okay. Then why not bring it up as part of the investigation?
Because my sister didn't kill herself.
That's That's possible, given everything, but...
But nothing. I know my sister better than you, better than Seb, better than Pew Bevins. She wouldn't have done this.
Pew Bevins?
Crap.
What does Pew Bevins have to do with this?
Pew Bevins was one of the cops looking into Tara's death. He's the one that came to the conclusion and notified my parents it was suicide.
So, your so-called problem with authority when we were investigating the Brotherhood and the murder farm?
I didn't want him or anyone else involved. Not after that.
What do your parents think of all this? They knew Tara just as well as you.
They at least tended to buy it. Guess it's more comfortable to believe she did it herself than the alternative.
What makes you think they were pretending?
Because when I said I wanted to come here, they nearly took away my college fund. I sat them down to tell them, and my dad went pale. Mom went ballistic. They were afraid. It was like some morbid game of chicken. Either they admit there's something off about the school and what happened to Tara, or I go there to figure things out for myself. In the end, they decided to bury their heads in the fucking sand. Whatever the truth was, they didn't want to know. Good for them.
Finn, I really am sorry about all of this, but you still didn't answer my question. Why keep this from the investigation if you think she was connected?
I'm used to you shooting me down, Eve. I can take that. Heck, I understand it to a certain degree. It's hard to believe. And if I told you that I think a ghost killed my sister, you wouldn't have taken me seriously at all.
Finn, I wouldn't have...
I know you wouldn't have called me delusional or get annoyed like you normally do. You'd have been gentle about it, but that's worse, somehow. Everyone tried to tell me it was suicide, and the last person I needed to hear that from was you. I needed to make you believe first, so you at least had a chance of hearing me out.
So that's where Finn's occult corner came from? Look, Finn...
Boo! So unprofessional, Lady Killjoy.
Oh, hush. How many times has your phone rung during recording when we were starting out?
But we're professional now. We have to uphold a standard.
Hold on, since when were we being paid for any of this?
Being professional isn't about money, Eve. It's a state of mind.
Objectively false.
Agree to disagree. That the group chat again?
Yeah.
And what are they going to kill each other over this time?
I don't know. I'm not gonna check it. At this point, probably something as petty as breathing each other's air.
Is that not what the no farting petition was about?
Gross.
Anyway, that's everything relevant, right? Moving on?
That's up to you, I guess.
Moving on it is. Now that I've accomplished my mission of obtaining foolproof evidence for my co-host, we can both agree that it seems like a ghostly presence might be involved. Yes?
Yeah, that seems to be the world we're living in, apparently.
Great. And I think we can safely assume that the same ghost that was behind the locked room murders is the one that's been annoying you and Carmen. The spectral incel himself, Lionel Wedge.
Can we? I mean, you're the one that pitched there might be multiple ghosts haunting the place.
Even if it wasn't him, still the same MO. Looking back at your interview with Lily, she mentioned that she, Lori, and Lori's roommate experienced windows opening in the middle of the night and a missing key problem. That just leaves the ceiling banging and wall scratching that Lori described in her Tumblr post. Have you and Carmen been hearing things?
I don't know. I wasn't exactly worrying about every groan and creak the old building made. Until last week, I didn't think I had to.
But there have been noises.
Of course there have been noises, but that can't mean that they were all made by ghosts.
I suppose we can ask Carmen after the show. Even so, I see this as an absolute win.
How is this an absolute win?
Finn Nightingale and Eve Pemberly, official exorcists. Tell me that catching a ghost doesn't sound cool.
You want to... Yeah, okay. Finn, How do you suggest we go about doing that?
Okay, I haven't worked out all the details, but we can be reasonably sure of the ghost's name. That's huge. I mean, not as important as it would be if it were a demon, but names have power in the spiritual realm.
How?
I don't know the details yet, but I know someone who does.
Awesome. Another game of telephone with your mysterious third-party contact.
Actually, I think we can move past this now. October always told me that if it was something dangerous, that I should involve her immediately.
October?
Yeah, she's psychic?
Yeah, sure. Why not? We've broken the seal already with the whole ghost thing. Why not jump headfirst into the deep end?
Hey, we were in the deep end already, Eve. I'm just trying to make sure we don't drown here.
Fine, sure, yes, call her. I need a minute.
Well, then, I guess we'll be back after this commercial break. Hey there, intrepid listeners. I know that you're all into mystery and intrigue, and boy do I have just the thing for you. This week, the Role-Playing Society is holding a themed event in the Orchard Theater. It's a murder mystery extravaganza that you won't want to miss, with tickets going on sale today in the campus store. 50% of all proceeds will be donated to Amnesty International. Have I piqued your interest yet? Well then, allow me to whet your appetite. Orchard Theater, 1920. A dinner party is underway to celebrate the grand reopening of the theater after the fire that burned it to the ground 1 year hence. The table is lined with benefactors, actors, directors, composers, all with grudges to bear and stakes in the theater. But when tragedy strikes, you will have to apply all of your detective skills to the problem in order to find a killer and save your own skin. On board yet? Then check out the Student Union homepage for more information. Not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna get tickets.
Of course you are.
I really can't believe you're finally on side.
On side?
Yeah, I kinda expected you to double down for a moment there after everything.
Almost did.
Especially since...
What? Why are you trailing off? You quite literally never shut up. I once watched you talk your way through a hot dog eating competition.
Even I can run out of words sometimes. Besides, the aforementioned talking during competitive eating thing? Ill-advised. I'm lucky, for the record, that I don't have a very active gag reflex.
Ew.
Mind out of the gutter, I was referring to hot dogs, obviously.
Wieners.
You're a wiener.
Ha! Grade school comeback much?
Stop distracting me, we're getting off topic.
Right, and God forbid we get off topic on this, the most on-topic podcast on air.
Eve.
Finn.
Listen, we have to talk about the elephant in the room.
You talking about the fact that we both know it was you who finished off the entirety of Carmen's banana bread? And that you shared a piece with me so that I would be incriminated in your crimes, even though I was innocent?
Guilty by association is still guilty. Jesus Christ, Eve. Ow!
You framed me, and now she's considering poisoning Zeb.
Like, poisoning?
Laxatives.
Bold plan for someone who sleeps in the same cubic footage.
We might be hurtling towards mutually assured destruction.
Speaking of, let's talk about that elephant.
Could you just tell me what you're talking about? Please.
The ghost of Lionel Wench clearly wants you.
Not necessarily.
Eve.
Don't Eve me. He also made reference to you, to Birdie, right? Mr. Nightingale? Or are we ignoring that? Are you becoming the guy who ignores ghosts now?
Eve.
Eve, stop that. I'm right.
How many tattoos do you have?
None.
Eve, do I look like your mother?
Sometimes, yeah.
Eve.
Fine, I have 3 tattoos. What about it?
And what are they?
Seriously?
Just humor me.
Right, because humoring you always goes so well for me.
Oh, come on.
Fine. I have an Iris, because that's my mum's name. A Thistle, because Scotland. And a magpie, because one flew into my bedroom when I was a baby and left me a pretty bead. My parents always tell that story. Mom used to call me a changeling.
And the magpie is where?
Across my shoulders?
Exactly.
Fuck
It's gonna be...
off.
Oh. Not where I was expecting that to go, to be honest.
This is ridiculous.
I mean, not really. It's your most prominent tattoo. It would make sense for Wench to refer to you with it.
I have a name, and you do too, and it makes much more sense that Birdie is you.
No one calls me Nightingale. Never got that in school. No one here does it either. Unless you count Chuck.
But...
Plus, you were the one being followed around. The ghost has been haunting your room, the missing keys, the windows. And then what happened last week? I mean, come on, Eve.
But...
Seriously? I'm right. I've been right this whole time, Eve. Why don't you ever listen to me?
Maybe because I don't want to be the object of a homicidal, woman-hating ghost's affections. Did you consider that?
I mean, not wanting to be the object of his affections doesn't stop it from happening. You know that.
Oh, and you're always completely objective and never do stupid shit based on emotion?
Hey, I resent...
No, I'm sick of all this. I'm sick, Finn, and tired. I don't care about whether Carmen stole Seb's socks or whether Seb purposely crashed Carmen's computer or whether you stole Seb's sneakers or whether or not there should be a fucking no farting policy in the dorm room. The answer is yes, obviously, because we're not fucking animals.
I
You
didn't...
have no right to get angry at me for this. No right. I'm the one who's had the world turned upside down. Me, not you. I'm the one who had to move out of my dorm. I'm the one who has to deal with the fact that not only are ghosts real, but they are real enough that they can kill living people. And not only do they kill people, but one wants to kill me specifically.
Evie...
But you're over here like this is something I should just be taking in stride somehow? Like I should be cool with this whole fucking thing somehow? That's like someone coming up to you and telling you, actually, contrary to what you've thought your whole fucking life, the sky isn't blue, and worse, it wants to kill you specifically. Maybe I do too good a job pretending that everything is okay most of the time, then, but it's not okay for me. I always have to be okay, always. No one will let me be any other way. I had to be the perfect daughter with perfect grades, who never stayed out late and worked at the store with her dad and never dated because who had the time? And I thought that finally I could relax. But what you're asking for right now is more of that perfect Eve. And I didn't think I had to be here with you. I can't be that right now. Don't you see? My whole world has been fucking flung off its axis.
Eve, I'm sorry.
And today's supposed to be the day I get to hit things.
Holy She-Hulk.
And how I've broken the fucking table. Shit. Oh.
Hey. Let's go get some pizza, all right? On me. We can even get olives on it.
You hate olives.
But you don't.
Okay. Okay. I need to go wash my face.
Sure. I'll finish up here and we can meet on the big rock, okay? That's all for tonight, gang. So as always, so long, farewell, and remember, check in on your loved ones. You just finished listening to Englewood After Dark, Episode 17. If you've been enjoying our show and you'd be interested in contributing towards a Season 2, please check out our Indiegogo page. It hasn't started yet, but it will soon, and you can sign up to stay updated for when we go live. If you want to connect with other Englewood listeners, we'd also love it if you come join us on our Discord server. This episode starred Dennis Ortman as Finn Nightingale and Hannah Brown as Eve Pemberly. Written and sound designed by Hannah Brown, Dennis Ortman, and A. Rose. Special thanks to the talented Athan for our on-air music and Nicholas Gasparini for the opening theme. And for those of you excited for Season 2, here's a little teaser for you. Enjoy!
You know what they say about getting your answers? You might not like them.